People know when they're coming to work with me that it's going to be nuts, you know, and they have to be ready, you know. But it's never ugly. I don't deal with ugliness, and I don't deal with cruelty. So I can never find a problem with it, you know. I love the idea of bigger than life and more beautiful than a dream. And if you want reality, you know, take the bus.
David LaChapelle, world-famous photographer, documentary filmmaker and video artist, now well established as one of America's 10 most important photographers. He's at home in both Los Angeles and New York. Photo shoot in a rented film studio in Hollywood. Just the right place for storytelling, and David LaChapelle's photos always tell a story. Prepares the background for a fashion spread in the magazine Maxine. This one's for men's underwear. The pictures are supposed to look like snapshots of the adventures of a boy band in various hotel rooms.
Every day is different, you know, and every day is another drama and another crazy thing, you know. And somehow we've all managed to stay together, even when moving to LA and stuff, we're still here, and we're still all together. So that's really, I'm really blessed in that way, because I feel like I have these people around that are like my family, that I can count on, that I love.
They're not in the office?
All right. Yeah, fine. All right, so it's, not good. Oh, shit. There's way too many mirrors here.
The next day, it's a fashion spread again, and once again, it's in Los Angeles. The team is preparing the shoot.
If I go like this now.
I came to him as just a regular assistant, and you know, worked like I would for anybody else. And after a couple of jobs with him, I realized that he didn't know anything about lighting. You know, he just, you know, had all these lights going everywhere, you know, and he had all these images, and he needed somebody who could teach him, you know, and show him strobes, and so I just started lighting for him.
Well, chin down, okay.
Go.
Good, thanks. Good. Perfect.
Here's your sync cord, David.
Stop last time. More, I don't think, you can relax, I don't know.
And we get this, you know, huge amount of imagery in one shot. There's so much stuff going on. You know, there's so much detail everywhere that, you know, people look at the pictures and they don't really see everything, you know, and then all of a sudden they go, oh, you know, and oh, you know, and they just see these little parts of the shot that, you know, are just like little touches, and that's kind of where Kristen comes in.
And
then in the other box, there's a white violin.
Oh, I love that.
Can you put together? Go towards her. Good, and face her. You two face each other kind of slightly. That's it. And you have to, how do you play that mandolin?
We work like people work on films. You know, I have a crew who builds, and I have people who find all the different objects, and we sort of gather these people together very quickly for a shoot. And generally, the one difference between this and films is that this happens very, very quickly.
I like that.
No.
He's an artist, you know, he's not technical at all. I mean, you know, we have lenses. We have a 35 millimeter, we have a 55 millimeter. You know, he can't say that. He's got to say, give me the ultra wide. Or, you know, I tried to get him to learn the numbers of the lenses, you know, so it'd be easier for me. He goes, let's make them colors. Okay, that'll be the pink lens, that'll be the blue lens. You know, I was like, okay, that's not gonna work for me. So, so yeah, no, he's not technical at all.
Bring the hand away from me. Just bend your fingers. Push your hand away from me more, like, so you're listening to music, you're like, you know what I mean? That's it, that's it. Fan, sorry. Turn the fan towards me, so like, sideways, that's it. There.
Oh, leave it. Leave it. Déjala leche.
There's a perception that what we do is kitsch, but we love those things, and we've always felt we wanted to represent the things that we saw, and I've never felt that we were making fun of those things. It was more an idea of celebrating things that a lot of people don't necessarily find beautiful and making you look at them in a different way.
For almost every photo shoot, art books from different historical periods are brought along as a source of inspiration.
You could, I mean, I would have gone by it, or...
No, maybe I'll rent. I saw some.
Okay.
I saw some piece of fabric and handcrafted.
Okay. Kristen and I love getting inspiration from art and painting from history, things that are really iconic and that everyone knows, you know. And taking those elements and applying it into photography, which is a modern medium, and reworking it into this new way.
The actress Uma Thurman as Botticelli's Venus. Robes by Yves Saint Laurent, as though the packaging artist Christo had wrapped the models in them. A spiral installation inspired by the land artwork Spiral Jetty. And the painting Exposure of Luxury by the Renaissance painter Bronzino as background wallpaper.
You know, I mean, I have this painting in my bedroom in New York. This is one of my favorite paintings ever. Yeah, we did a photographic interpretation of it.
David LaChapelle takes an extremely open approach to his work. This comes from pop art. As a teenager in the middle of the 80s, he came from a small town to New York. There he met Andy Warhol. David LaChapelle is represented in New York by the same person who used to be Andy Warhol's gallerist, Tony Shofrazzi.
Most of his influences, and certainly his
greatest hero, I think, is Andy Warhol. He worked with Andy Warhol for a long time. This was his example. Andy saw immediately the talent in David and got him to do photographs. He was impressed with Andy's personality, with the way he worked, what a dedicated person he was, and what a kind and a giving person he was. And sort of what in a sort of endlessly available and inexhaustible. There's no sense of being tired, you know, that Andy used to have. And I think David shows the same characteristic.
A gallery opening on Wooster Street, New York. The street in Soho had to be cordoned off because of crowd pressure. None of the gallery's other artists have such a drawing power, especially for the glitzy, young, glamour-addicted New York audience who want to be part of the in crowd.
LaChapelle Lounge.
The gallerist has seen this type of excitement before at earlier exhibitions. But he also remembers David LaChapelle when nobody knew him.
So what was really exciting the first time was, firstly, was the studio. The location of the studio was in the East Village where all the artists came from. And not at all looking up at night, I saw this, what looked like different panes of window. They're all different colors, like stained glass. But it had been painted very roughly from the inside, so at night it looked like stained glass, and it looked really already fun and alive.
It's a nice studio. They can do so much with it. Like, they rebuild it for every shoot. They make sets in here. Like, I think that's so interesting.
The studio as an ongoing building site. Here's where David LaChapelle's career began. From the beginning, the sets were self-built, walls painted over, materials recycled. There was simply no money for extravagant productions. Back then, the manufacturing of illusion was a necessity. Now it has become a tradition.
Okay, so you're going to sit on the tire.
The models are waiting for their instructions. So far, all they know is that they will be presenting white shoes for Italian Vogue.
Will you finish that up for me?
Yep. The photographer has a quite specific image in mind. 3 girls are out to have fun. They are riding a motorbike on a summer's day. Their destination is some faraway beach. Now the models must give shape to this mental image. They've got to do a lot at once. Show the shoes and ride on an invisible motorbike, fanned by the headwind. While holding this pose, they are supposed to look like they are having the time of their life.
That's the mother of invention, desperation, isn't it? Okay, there, perfect. I need to see the shoes. You're covering the shoes, put the shoe in front. Help out, Molly. Put the shoe in front. The black, okay, everybody lean forward a bit. Everyone lean forward. There. Lean forward. Forward. Foot up, film, hold it, film.